They decide you're guilty, then they figure out how or why later. It don't matter what evidence they have, it don't matter what supporting arguments they have, it don't matter if it's caught in 4 Ultra K, it don't matter, the decision has already been made. Look at Tory Lanez and Diddy. I'm not the type of guy that's obsessed with celebrities. I could give a fuck. Diddy don't pay my bills, Tory Lanez don't pay my bills. And you can make an argument either way. But if you weren't there, you have no idea what happened. So you can come up with your own ideas and conspiracies and whatever, who shot who and who baby oil this, baby oil that. You don't know. You weren't there. Same with me. But what you do know is I'm sure you may see on your feed, depending on what social group you're in, I'll go on Facebook and I'll see all types of crazy opinions about these situations. I've seen a bunch of women saying, and it doesn't matter because it's women, so who cares? I don't care if he didn't shoot her, he still need to be in jail. They just have a bias because they're a woman, so they're going to support the side that supports their agenda that makes their life better. It doesn't matter what evidence there is, it doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. And with the Diddy thing, if you're smart and look at the situation, you're like, this is weird. He might be a weird dude. I don't want to delve into other men's sex life, but what is criminal about this? He's got a weird sex relationship with this girl. He's doing weird stuff. But the Diddy situation is obviously super political, right? I was telling my brother like years ago, because like Forbes and Entrepreneur and a lot of the business magazines were putting out hit pieces on him and slander pieces, and he was losing all his endorsements. He was losing Ciroc. He was losing all these. I was like, oh boy. I'm like, he pissed them boys off. He pissed them boys off. They were setting up his guilt. They were creating his guilt already. They were making the public opinion think he's guilty of what he's doing now 2 years ago when they were taking those deals away. It don't have nothing to do with if he's a perv or weird or whatever, or guilty or human trafficking or any of that, sex trafficking. And you can look at the articles and you can see what they're reporting about him. They're reporting all the most embarrassing, humiliating things about his sex life. What does that have anything to do with trafficking? They're talking about the size of his ding dong and baby oil and all this weird stuff. They decided he was guilty. It has nothing to do with anything, and we all fall for it. Everyone falls for it. I'm not sure how people get super caught up in their personal opinion about two people with two celebrities that you don't even know. You don't know if Tory shot the girl. We don't know what happened. People decide their opinion. They decide if you're guilty. They decide if you're right. They decide if you're wrong based off the agenda that will help them. It doesn't matter what evidence there is. It doesn't matter. It's never about that. So you can take that into your life and do what you will with it. But it's interesting, we'll get super obsessed with trying to tear down someone based off a bunch of media articles and gossip and opinions, not knowing that you're fueling the same engine that could turn on you and destroy you. You know, if somebody started making up all these stories and saying things about your sex life and taking it to your job, you'd be fired too, and it wouldn't be so funny then. But yet we love to point the finger and look at people and decide if they're guilty or not if we think it helps ourselves. But you're fueling a weapon that can destroy you just the same way. So you should be very careful about what your opinion is about random articles that people are purporting and not thinking about why they're doing it. People don't just report things and do things just because they want to do it. This is intense politics. When you see them reporting and journaling the most embarrassing, humiliating things about Diddy and Tory Lanez and all these things, it's because they have a reason. So why would someone want these negative things purported about Diddy? Why would they take all of his business contracts away? Why is he in a sex trafficking case? Because he has a weird swinger sex life, which, by the way, everyone has a weird aunt, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, mom, dad that participates in all of this weird sex swinging stuff and drugs and all that as well. You worried about Diddy, and you got a weird uncle in your family being weird. You got it in your family too, but it ain't cool when when it gets turned on you. So I'll be very careful about the way you're assuming people's guilt.